for you to understand a mother, you have to be one. Seriously. And it's very easy to say you need to break away from your mother, but a relationship between a mother and a child, there is no way you can break it. And that's a fact. I feel very, very strongly about this, and that's why I decided to comment. I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying it because it's a fact. I don't want to make you feel that you're actually sitting in my language class, because I taught English for many, many years until I started heading the school. But I think it's important. Agatha said life, love, and mothers, and I just want to reverse that and say I want to start with mother or mothers, because I truly believe mothers are the beginning and the end. You start everything with the word mother. You talk about Mother Nature, you talk about Mother Earth, you talk about your motherland. Anything you say, the origin, it actually starts with the word mother. Because if it was not for your mother or our mothers, none of us will be here. And it's a fact, isn't it? But let me be that English teacher for just one moment or two. I know they said inform, inspire, influence. That's what Engage tries to do, usually. So I'm just trying to inform you something, if you're not a linguist, you may not know. Taking you back, 19th century linguists actually said this, that the word mother has its origin in what we call pi. Maths teachers amongst the audience don't think I'm talking about your pi. I'm actually talking about the Proto-Indo-European, which is the tongue that was there before all these languages that we know now came about. And it finds its root in ancient Greek, ancient Latin, Norse, and in Sanskrit. So I want to talk about the word mother in all this. What do you call in ancient Greek the word mother? What is it? It's mater. Okay? If you say Latin, it becomes mater. We go to Mater Hospital. And then when you talk about Sanskrit, it's madre. And when you talk about it in Spanish, there is semblance, even the way, how you sound it. In Spanish, it's madre. And in German, it's Mutter. So you can actually see there's a lot of similarity in the way the word mother is said. And it comes from pi, which is Proto-Indo-European, which was used 4,500 to 2,500 BC. So that is where the word mother originates from. And of course, linguists know, people who have done history of language, they know that there's a lot of what you call evolution of language that happened through processes like assimilation until we got the word in English, mother. So that is where it all started. And then the meaning or the definition of the word mother, if you're talking about it as a noun, you're the creator, or you can say you are where it originated, so it's originator. Child bearer, I found that in one of the dictionaries. But if you talk about the word mother as a verb, it says nurse, mind, look after, care. Somebody who looks after, somebody who cares, somebody who nurses. All that is definition of the verb mother. So you can actually see why mothers are important. Everything that you care about, it is related to the word mother. And in the conventional or traditional thinking, mothers were doing just that. They used to look after children. They used to be stay-at-home wives, husbands used to take care of all that. So unlike today, we really have to hustle, I know, to put, food on the table. It's not every day that you have the support of your husband to put food on the table, to take care of your children. And I know this because I've not been just a teacher. And that's what I wanted to tell you. And if I may say, you listen to Uche, and he was my student, and I've been sort of mother for him in school, if I may say. You saw Billy. Yesterday I heard Billy introduce me to some people. Say, oh, she was my mom. By the way, and that's very true. And I'm so happy when kids say that. Do you know why? I know I gave birth to one son. But the truth is, I can't even count how many children I have, because there are many. And do you know why? Because I've been a mother to them, in the sense, pay attention, take care of them, listen to them, impart values. Those were the things mothers were expected to do in the olden days. But the truth of the matter is, times have changed. The pressures are different. So I just want to ask all of you mothers in here, how many of us are true mothers? I don't know if I'm qualified to ask this question, but because I have actually seen and experienced children who don't really get the time and attention from others, I thought I must bring this up. So how many of us mothers are truly mothers to our children? They say in life, the most constant thing is change. Do you agree with that? Yeah. Times have changed. So we are also expected to change as mothers. We can stick to all the old values, what we knew. We used to listen to All We Need Is Love, you said. We used to listen to Elvis and all the... But how many of us truly know our children and what they listen to nowadays? How many of us are familiar with Jay-Z or Kanye or Lupe or, how many of us know those names? How many of us actually take time to talk to your children about the Premier League and the teams that they're supporting, whether it's Man U or Arsenal or Chelsea or, I don't know, and when you talk Champions League, you're talking about Bayern or Real or, I don't know, how many of you really bother to do that? You have NBA playoffs, early morning, 3 o'clock, the TV is on. Spurs, Cavaliers, how many of you truly know that? I'm talking about our generation mothers here. Why I'm bringing this up is because, it's very, very essential that you know who your kids' friends are, what they watch, what they listen to, where they go. Are you familiar with Aqua? And are you familiar with Brew? And are you familiar with Kepasa? And are you familiar with, it just goes on and on. But my point is, I just want to reiterate this, yeah? You really need to know. Because if you don't know all these things that I talked about just now, in today's Nairobi especially, I personally, that's my personal opinion, you can definitely challenge that. That means you don't know your children. And a mother's role never ends, even when you want to break away because of your girlfriend. It doesn't. My point is, it's lifelong friendship. Young mothers here, sleepless nights that you have because your infant baby is crying relentlessly. Maybe he or she is hungry. But those sleepless nights, don't think when they grow much older or when they get to their teenage or when they turn in their 20s, you're going to sleep peacefully. Even then, you will have sleepless nights. Do you know why? Because now you're worrying about what they're doing out there. Whether they're going to have an accident, whether somebody has, stopped the car because of alcohol. You don't know. These things, and you can't sleep then. Yeah, the reasons are different now, but you really can't sleep because your kids are out there. Whether it's a boy or a girl, it doesn't really matter, but as long as they are out there as mothers, you don't sleep. And as you mature, your relationship, you don't really sever that relationship. It can mature. That's what I feel. And it is important for our children today to know that when parents advise them, it's for their good, because what else do they get out of it? You said you're a man because of your mother. Same way, I heard Don say, about girls and their fathers. There's nothing like that. Mothers are special. And I think even for us, female gender, we value our mothers more when we become mothers. Am I right in saying that? That is when a woman understands the importance of that figure that we call mother. Until then, you can't. And by that, I don't mean if you carry a child in your womb for 9 months and you go through that most painful ordeal of delivery, you become a mother. You don't. It's everything that happens after that until the time. There's no retirement age, You're a mother until you die, because that is how it is. That's nature, and you can't change it. That's how he intended it. So there's no way you can change that. So basically, I was asking you earlier, how many of us actually know questions, answers to the questions I asked? You really need to get to know your children, because if you can't have a conversation when they are talking about all those characters I talked about earlier, you'll be lost. So change, it's needed. Learn who is new in the scene, whether there's Christina Perry or, I don't know, all those people. You need to learn. We are constantly learning. And definitely, for you to be at par with them, it's important that you do that. And for the youngsters who are present here, the other day I read something on a blog spot. How many of you are familiar with bikuzulu.co.ke? The last blog that he did, the post was about my mother broke my heart. That was what it was. And by the time I finished reading that blog, I was actually crying, because there's no other reaction, you see, people? And Biko said it, and if you haven't, please, when we finish today with Engage, kindly, the first thing you do is go to that site, www.bikuzulu.co.ke, and you must read it, because the message Biko has sent out to everybody, it's just amazing. All he's saying is, when you have time, when your mother is alive and well, take care of her. Do the right thing by her. Don't leave arguments, going on and on, because at the end of the day, after she's gone, it's no point if you start talking about it. My message is, you don't really have to, be the one carrying that child and giving birth. You can be a mother if you're there for these children. And some of them turn to others purely because we are so caught up in our own busy lives that we don't really have time for them. And my message is basically that. Please make time for your children. Be good mothers for them to celebrate you year after year, every single day. And youngsters, please make sure that you tell your mom every single day. It doesn't matter. If you're far, near, make sure every single day that you tell your mother that you love her. Because it won't come back. Times that you waste won't come back. Thank you.